And one fish, two fish. And one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. And one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. All right, I think that's good. Yo, Rod Shelley. And we got C.S. Bond in the house, baby. All right, sound check is good on Twitch. Let's just check the YouTube. Good on Twitch. Let's just check the YouTube. All right, that sounds like sound on YouTube, so we're good to go there. I'm getting back to the what we were working on yesterday. All right, that sounds like sound on YouTube. Oh, so hold on. Go there. I'm getting back to the what we were working on yesterday. I forgot to mute it. There we go. That's better. You over there. I think Thursday I'm going to work on the boots. So today I'm going to do a little bit of work on the skirt and round 2 of playing with the fuzzy stuff on the sweater. Yesterday I put the fuzz on the sweater, but I had exported a sweater that was triangulated. So, boo. Not entirely what I intended to do there. Finding this freaking computer most of the day. I'm sorry, dude. That's annoying. You know what? Fabric's going to be called skirt. Are you doing anything? So I'm going to drag that down to, we're going to drag you down to here. Maybe not. What? You know, this dragging and dropping business isn't exactly working the way. What the hell? Can I just drag you back? I can drag you there. I can drag you there. Now can I drag you over here? There we go. God, that is just a horrible tool. Okay, things to do on the skirt. Actually, let me make sure this should be quads. You think you need to reformat, reload the thing, or buy a new one? Yeah. Quad optimized. We're good there. Let's quad optimize all of this. That is quad optimized. So let's rename you skirt. Actually, I'm gonna call you skirt. I think I'm just gonna call you skirt for right now. Let's give skirt some colors. Actually, let's start breaking skirt apart. So let me make sure this is exported out. File, export, OBJ selected. That's going to go there. My UVs look good on that. This one's Windows 10 and won't work with... That's what they say about my computer too. Won't work with Windows 11. Evil bat rastards. I had to do the thing. The thing where you sign up for the program that will be good for another year of getting security patches. Okay, I'm going to hide the sweater for now. And we're going to deactivate it. And we're going to chop up the skirt to be a little shorter here. So let's set that to translucent for a little bit. So I can kind of see right about, I think right about there. And then I'm going to put a 1-inch hem on that. So we want to put a split point right there. It's a pilot by Microsoft. It's a plot. It is a plot. Perfectly good operating system. But they're not making money on it, so they have to tell you that they're not supporting it anymore. So we're going to put our split 205 on everything. So we're just going to run through here, split 205, split 205. This has got, that's a point that matches the other side, isn't it? Yeah. All right, I got to do a measurement, and then we have to, whatever that is, 81.2. My brain can't function. 205 minus 81.2 is 123.8. So we're going to put a split right here. 123.8. And I'm going to put a split right here. 123.8. Say okay. And am I at the end yet? Not yet. We're moving along. Okay, we're going to put a split here. 205. And then I need a split over here. 205. You got to keep making those. Exactly. It's not about good products, it's about shareholder earnings. Alrighty, is good. Oh, you know what? I need a point. Actually, I need to put a point in here. At 205. Say okay on that, and then I can draw my line through. Oh, you are in the. And now I got to do that on the other side. Running to Chicago, sent $1,000 to PayPal once. That dang. Nice. Split 205. Okie dokie. Split 205. Okay. A-okay. Gots the mesh. We just gots the mesh. Split 205. Split 123.8. And then I'm going to put a 205 over here just to make sure I'm lining that up properly. Split 205. Was that 205? That was 205. Was that 123.8? Yeah. You're 101.2. Oh, you need to be 103. Split 103.8. There we go. Moving along. Split 103.8. Split 205. Split 205. Split 205. Okay, then we're just going to run lines through it like this. Okay, now we're ready to cut all of that. I'm going to put a hemline down in here. We're going to put a hemline in here. Then we can start parting out the different materials. I'm going to rearrange the UVs a little bit. I think I'm going to take the pleats and stack them up here. So what I'm trying to do is get a spread here that's about the same width as this. And then we'll stack these up here, and this, I'm going to just move you guys out of the way for now. These, before I take these apart, we're going to do some rearranging. These are actually the, what do you call those? The pleats, the inner pleats. I'll take these, just nudge them all over to about there. I'm going to run you over. So can I get you to line up on that? Excellent. That way this is the same width as that. And that's still not too tall. These, I want to see how this lines up with the UVs. I want to see if I can keep these up here or if I have to do something tricky with them. I want you to line up like that. Then over here, I'm just going to put that there. We're just going to put you right in there. I'm going to grab these guys and they get to come over here. And let's see if we can kind of line you up in there. That kind of works. Jeez, I can't even type. Typing hard. And I'm going to put you kind of right in there. So I kind of know where you go. And if I just take you all, put you here, I think you're going to be too tall, but I'm not sure about that. So we're going to pop over here, UV editor, reset the 2D arrangement. I'm just going to move you out of the way. I'm going to see how well you fit over here. So fit to. I think the height, I'm going to move these down a little bit and we'll tweak that. The idea is I don't want the height to be larger than the width. That's what I'm trying to do right now. So I might be able to just nudge these in a little closer. And then nudge these in a little closer. And I'm just trying to get a little extra room on the top over the bottom. And this way I know these widths will be the same from here to here and here to here, which means my textile density should be about the same for those two, which is kind of what I'm shooting for here. So UV editor, so we'll reset the 2D arrangement. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. We've already UV mapped that, but I'm going to fix that in a minute. And I want to fit you into there. We're going to zoom in. So I've got a little bit more room on the top than I do on the sides. So that's what I was going for. Excellent. And then I'll put this back in. Ideally, that should map the UVs we already had. Okay, now I just need to finish chopping this up a little bit. Assign some materials, and the skirt is ready to export out. That's all. That's all. All I have to do is we're just going to cut and sew all of those. And then we're just going to cut and sew all of these. I'm going to add, I'm going to move these out of the way for just a second. Because what I really need to do is be able to get to these lines right here. And also these lines. We're going to do a little, dang it. Are you? What is that? We're going to do a little interior offsets on these. Offset is an interior line. I'm going to do that. Dang it, I got another extra point right there, and I have to redo all of this. Wow, wow, wow. Oops. Okay, offset is an interior line. Internal line, 25. Okay. That's going to be those parts of the hemline. Okay, I'm going to nudge all of these back into place. All right, now we'll just kind of do the same thing with these. Okay, so are you guys? Yeah, you guys. You went all the way across. Which means I probably, yeah. Am I good? I think I'm good. You're gonna be calling it early? Hey, no worries, Charles. I get it. Thanks for popping in. I always do appreciate it when you're able to pop in, though. Off that internal line, 25. Say okay. Cut and sew. So this is going to be skirt short, skirt, skirt hem short, skirt hem. And the same thing with these. You got to get up and go to work. You just got to hang out for a little bit. Alrighty, take care, man. Appreciate it. All right, let's set up our materials here. Copy that. I think you are going to be waist. Actually, you're going to be skirt short. Oh man, somebody's got his cap lock on. I'm going to actually make you skirt long. All right, copy that. Skirt, hem, long. Let's copy that. Skirt, hem, short. Okay, waist. I need a skirt waist in here. Waist. And then I'm gonna put zipper. I keep fat fingering my cap locks. I'm still not quite used to this new keyboard I got. It's a little smaller than my other one, and some of the keys are just slightly off a bit. Copy that. All right, I'm going to call you zipper and then attachment. Attachment's going to be this little strip in here. And this is the zipper section right here. Zipper. And, zipper attachment. The attachment part is what will get deleted later on in life. And when we make the undone version of this. Alrighty. So I guess I can, let's give these colors. Let's do that. Let's work on the greens. Let's start here and apply that and apply that. Happens here when you do stuff on laptop. Yeah. And apply that. And oh, because the keyboard is just slightly different than what you're used to. My control keys were starting to stick. It looked like they would work with some combinations, but then others, and that was becoming a real problem. All right, I think we're good. All right. Forget trying to try stuff on your phone. I know. I can't. I can't with my phone. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't select this little thing here in the middle. It's because the selection tools are smarter than I am. Selection tool is going, oh, I'm pretty sure you wanted that thing next to what you were actually clicking on. Yeah, don't worry, bro. I got you. I know you're clicking on the wrong thing. I'll fix that. Here, let me fix that for you. It's like an autocorrect feature that you never asked for. I'm going to put that there. Where's my hem short? I'm going to put that right in there. Skirt long. You know what? Skirt long needs a color. Yes, indeed. Yes, sirree, Bob. Smart software is bad. Now you have all the damn. Yeah. As if you weren't stupid enough as it was. Now you got something else that's even smarter. Okay, that's good. I think we can just drop waist on those. Okay, these are skirt short. I'm going to change that yellow color. It's hurting my eyes. My eyes. It burns. It burns. There we go. That's a little better. They'll come through here. That's all going to be skirt long. You're already skirt long. What am I doing? Where am I? Who am I? What's the meaning of wife? Damn it. Did I not cut and sew those? I guess I didn't. See, there's that thing. I was too close to another line and it was thinking, you know what? You just might want this line over here. It does that so often. It's really annoying. Cut and sew, cut and sew, cut and sew. There we go. Cut and sew. And then I probably have to do these ones too. All right, I think we're good. I'm going to select all of that. That is the short hem. I'm going to select all of these. That is the long hem. And I think I've got this all. Yo, Fallen Learns, how are you doing? I'm working on a little wintry sort of outfit. Of course, there'll be a really short skirt version too, because that's just the way we roll. It's got this big, oversized sweater. I had somebody reach out to me for a commission, and I turned down the commission. but I liked the idea. It was like this. It's like the sweater from Wednesday season 2 in the episode where Enid and Wednesday switch bodies, and this is the sweater that Enid and Wednesday's body was kind of wearing. So I'm kind of so that's the inspiration for this, and then we're going to make UGG style boots with fur. So I got the skirt chopped up. The skirt's ready to be saved out. Actually, I probably have to redo the UVs, so we'll do that. I'm going to hit save. We're just going to come over here to the UV editor. I'm just going to reset. That goes into there. That goes into there as well. I'm going to use multiple maps for this. Actually, can I just knock you over one? You used to be able to just pop over one. You don't do that anymore. What is that? You know, once upon a time when I hit that button, it would nudge it over one box. The good old days. When I hold the shift key down, it does that. Why does it do that? That is like not actually useful. Oops. Ah, now I'm all munged. All right, never mind. I'm going to stop worrying about it. I'm just going to leave them on top of each other like that. So think, I think I'm ready to go. I'm going to hit save. We're going to reload in. Let's turn the translucency off. Let's go back to thick shaded. Let's bring the skirt back to life, or the sweater. Let's activate and unhide. So that's going to become a sweater. This is going to become a skirt. It's going to be a really short option. It gets shorter in the back than the front. And we're also going to make UGG boots. That's going to be, I'm going to call that a winter outfit. Winter Whimsy. That's what we're working on. Hit save. All right, we're going to fit this to Genesis, to the base Genesis figure. So let's go over to G9 avatars. Let's load that in as a morph target. Let's let the magic happen. We're just going to kind of wait until that goes back to neutral. There we go. We're good. Okay, I'm going to unstrengthen the skirt and let that relax a little bit. So I think we're good. I'm going to save this as... It always freaks me out when I get far away and I see poke throughs, but when you zoom in, they're not there. You know what? I think I'm going to add a little extra offset on these just to make sure that this bottom of the sweater is pushing a little farther off on the skirt. We have a little zipper down the side that we're going to have. And the skirts I actually were looking at were pretty short skirts, but I thought it made a little more sense to have it a little longer. And in reality, you'd probably wear tights with this too. Anyhow, let's export stuff out. I think my sweater's good, but I'm going to re-export it. We'll turn the simulation off. Actually, let's... I heard a noise. What did I hear a noise? Yo, I'm only a big child. Dyslexic love for you, buddy. Good to see you. How you doing? Let's give out a shout out to my friend. I'm only a big child. I've been poking in and saying hi while he's been streaming. Um, Thanks for the raid. I appreciate that. What were you playing? Were you playing Zelda? Yes, you were. Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. If you're not following I'm Only a Big Child, give him a follow. Pop over and say hi while he's playing Zelda. That would be super cool. Okay, I'm exporting. I'm going to re-export the sweater. Oh, actually, I was going to. This is what I was doing when I got distracted by the raid, and nothing happening. Okay, we're good. We're going to stop that. We're going to save the sweater out. Export OBJ selected. I'm going to overwrite that. Actually, yes, I'm going to overwrite that. You never spent too much time playing a single game. Spent as much time playing a single game. Well, if you really like it, I can see that. I think in recent history, the most time I could spend with a game was Destroy All Humans. That's my jam. And it's been a couple years since I fired that one up. Am I all good to go? Thin, weld. Why was that all off? Single object, unified UVs. I think this is good. I'm going to say okay to that. Okay, then we're just going to do the skirt. File, export, OBJ selected. Witter Whimsy. Skirt. And I'm going to say okay to that. All right. I'm going to put this away for a little bit, and we're going to play a little bit with making the sweater fuzzy in Dad's studio. You enjoyed Death Stranding, but it was a bit much of an end time apocalypse thing. Yeah. All right, we got this. Let's get a Genesis 9 in here. All right, let's go. I set up the folders for this earlier today. Winter Whimsy. I'm not sure if I'm going to end up calling it Winter Whimsy or not. Friendly gifted a Switch and a Zelda. Ooh, nice. Are you playing on a Switch online, or is that a computer? You can. I have no. I thought a Switch was like a small handheld thing, but I could be. I have no idea. The last gaming console I bought was a PlayStation 2. Oh, you play on a Switch. Okay. Yo, is that Mariella, Alaska? Oh my God. Mariella, welcome in. Good to see you. Use a USB capture card and OBS to stream it. Nice. Well, it works. I can't. I didn't even realize. As far as I was concerned, you were on a computer because I just default and think everybody has a computer. I don't know if you've been streaming or not, but I'm giving you a shout out. You play, and then you playing art. Yes, everybody give Mariella a call. If there's actually anybody else here, I think Rod may still be here. Rod only comes to Twitch to see me. At least I think he does. And Amaranth, because everybody comes to watch Amaranth. Sorry, Rod. um, I'm rigging an outfit. I'm making a little winter outfit of a sweater and skirt, and the sweater's based off of the one from Wednesday. When you draw on stream, you use the same PC with OBS and capture card with your iPad. Yeah. I've played with using my iPad. Now I can't find my pen anymore. I don't think I've ever actually managed to stream it though. I'm importing an OBJ file. You know what? Let's get the skirt in here. We'll do the skirt first. Accept that. There we go. All right, we're going to do a quick test here. I'm going to put T-Force on here. Oh, I got to go back and rework it. It did not. You know what? I'm going to simulate this. This is going to go horribly, horribly wrong. I can tell already. I see I've got weird seams that don't seem to be welded properly. I may have exported this unwelded. Let's find out. Oh, oogly boogly, look at that. I probably hit the wrong things. Let's take a look. Well, that's not doing anything. Let me see what I did when I exported this. I may not have been paying attention. It may have switched to settings that I don't like when I wasn't watching. It did. It did. It did this stupid thing. That's what's going wrong. It's supposed to be thin and welded. I'm going to say okay. You're still going. Can I cancel you? I can't even cancel that. Now I have to just suffer through this. This isn't going to be pretty, folks. Or maybe that's what you're here for. You're here for the ugly. It's like I'll be working with Marvelous Designer exporting stuff, and then one day it just changes the settings. Just like out of the blue, it's going, you know what? We're not going to use your settings anymore. We're just going to set it back to this default setting that you don't use. And it might do that for a while, and then it'll just go back to doing the way I want it to do. And then it just will spring this back on me again. This is liable to just explode. I'm just going to hit cancel now. There it goes. Look at it. All of that is double-sided, unwelded, with thickness on all the edges. That is garbage. We're exporting. We're getting that. We're going to re-import. Do that. Accept that. Those are still... I still have an issue over here, and I think it's because of these. It's not sewing to these. I have to do some cuts in here to get this to weld to that. So let's fix that. Dangity dang it. We're going to go back to recent. I'm going to go back to the base version, which is over here. There's an error in Marvelous Designer. Oh, you know what it is? Is it up here? Yeah, I gotta put a cut. So I have a sew. It's sewn right here, but because it's an internal line, when it exports, the thing that's sewn to it isn't getting welded. So I have to cut and sew that, and then re-sew my line back onto that. I think that's what's happening. You can see that split right there. That's just where it's not welding. So I'm going to cut and sew that. Whole computer has developed a serious attitude. It thinks it's the boss. What did I see? I saw a short about somebody who was using testing AI with like home vacuum cleaners, and they were developing a weird sense of humor because they were using Reddit for their learning data. Maybe not the best idea there. Did I? I did. Okay. So what I gotta do is I gotta resew this to those. So to do that, I'm gonna just pull that away for a second. I'm gonna run a. So when I put that cut in there, my sew, I need a little. This is sewn into that. That's what's going on there. And then I'm gonna put you back. Put you over here. And then I want to sew that edge to this edge. And I want to put that back. I want to check my UVs because when I put these cuts in here, it might have screwed them up. So I might have to redo those. Nope, looks good. All right, I think I can export this out. Let's try this again. All right, select that. Actually, I have to resize. I think this computer has been hanging out with he who must not be named. Oh, not him. Although that does explain a lot. Open. No, I'm doing add to workspace. Load as a morph target. Okay. So it's reshaped to the base figure. Yeah, that's done. So I'm going to resave that as this. We're going to re-export. This time I'm going to pay attention to the export settings because it's decided to start fucking with me about those. Okay, there we go. Look at that. It went back to thick. No, thick, bad. Thin and welded is what we want. I'm going to say, okay, let's see. I'm going to delete you. We're going to re-import in our skirt. Okay, that's better. You don't see those splits anymore. I'm going to do a quick test here. We're going to put D-force on that. And then we're just going to sim it and see how that goes. It should just start sliding down the hip. Ideally, we shouldn't see parts fall off. We'll spin it around and see if we got any weird splits in here. But I think we're good. I think that's going to do the trick for now. And then later on we'll make a short version. And there's a little strip in here I can delete out so that we can make this unzippable, or so that it can be undone. Okay, so that part's good. We'll just do that. All right, let's do a transfer tool on that. There's my Genesis. There's my skirt. We're just going to use I'm going to use a loose skirt template. Nope, that's a bodysuit. Dress. My choices are long, loose, and long, tight. I'm going to say long, loose. And accept that, and it does its thing. All right, we're going to clean up the garbage surface names that it gave me. Marvelous Designer insists on adding extra garbage into all my surface names. Because why not? You know, it makes sense from an internal. There's probably internal reasons inside Marvelous Designer. There's absolutely no reason why I need to know this when I export, though. So now I have to waste my time deleting this garbage that Marvelous Designer thinks is oh so important to include. Okay, that is all good. We're going to do a couple of things and then we're going to save this into my library. I'm probably going to take this in the blender or something and smooth that out a bit too at some point, but not today. I'm in the scene tab. Couple more things. Let's edit geometry and convert to sub D. I'm going to play around with the different models. That looks a little weird. Let's do edit geometry and let's add the smoothing modifier on there. All right, let's come into the surface tab. Let's put my generic shader on here. And also, oh, let's add D-force. I had D-force on here, but it got deleted when we used the transfer tool. I may or may not fix that. I don't know. I can probably use another subdivision method to make that look maybe a little better, but I don't know. I'm going to leave it like that for now. However, there is something I do want to do over here. Um, in mesh smoothing, I'm going to switch this from base shape matching to generic, and then I'm going to memorize that. And oh yeah, now that I've got the D-force on here, one thing I always do is switch that to 0.5, and that's the one thing that prevents most explosions. And now I'm going to save this. And we're going to put you over. I think I stuck this in my dresses folder. Winter Whimsy, there we go. People, Genesis 9, clothing, me, Whimsy outfit, G9, right here. We're going to put it right here. You know what? I'm going to say WW. I think I will call it Winter Whimsy. So I'll probably end up putting the word winter in here. So WW for Winter Whimsy, and you're going to be Whimsy skirt. G9. And we're going to save that. And right here, we're going to change this to say skirt instead of dress. Product. Vendor name. Hey, that's me. WW Whimsy skirt G9. Looks good. Accept that. Saves it into my library. All right, now I'm going to play with the fuzzy sweater. Right now it's not fuzzy, but we're gonna play with strand-based hair in Daz Studio. There's so Daz PAs have a tool that allows them to make strand-based hair deforced. I'm not going to do that on stream because that's only for PAs. So I don't know if I think somebody posted a video about it, and I think they took it down, and I'm not sure if it's because Daz complained because that's a PA only thing, and maybe under NDA. Anyhow, let's do the sweater now. I'm going to import the sweater. Import sweater. Accept. I'm going to put D-force on that and just I'm going to set the D-force on this to 0 for right now. Dynamic strength, we'll just put you at 0 so you don't do anything. But you're still affected by the simulation. So the sweater, I'm just going to put a D-force modifier on. Also, I should check and make sure my UVs aren't garbage. That would be a smart thing to do. We're simulating the sweater just to make sure nothing bad happens. Bad things are if it explodes. An even worse thing is if it vanishes. It did not explode or vanish, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm just going to cancel that. Clear that. Let's take a look at what we got over here. I'm going to do this. Let's take a look at our UVs and make sure that that's kind of what I was expecting for the sweater. Excellent. Let's do the same thing for the skirt. That kind of looks like what the skirt looked like earlier. So I think we're good there. Nothing quite like realizing UVs are a little bit off after you've already got halfway through a project. Okay, let's rig this. So now we'll use the transfer tool on the sweater. That's more floater. That's the transfer tool. Genesis 9. Sweater. Probably good. Template, I'm going to use a bodysuit loose on that. Accept that. Let it do its thing. Uh-oh, do I? No, I selected the right thing. Never mind. There we go, sweater. Okay, so we're going to do same things we just did. with the skirt, starting with cleaning up the surface names. Oh, I had a new product come out today. The Retro Car Hop is now live in the DAS store. Buy, buy many, buy many. Kidding. Buy it if you like it and you can afford it. How's that? That would be awesome. Um, all right, names are done. Thanks, Art. Oh, did you pop in here and I didn't see you, Art? I'm sorry, man. It's Art, 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 Art. Always gotta get my groove on when Art gets in here. Where was I? I'm tweaking the sweater. We fixed the names. Okay, let's fix the let's apply the generic shader. Let's tweak the D-force settings. Nope, let's apply D-force. There we go. D-force is on. Oh, you bought the D-force made. Thanks, man. There we go. Setting the bend stiffness to 0.1. The most important thing that stops explosions. Although bending might look a little weird, but it's a lot better than always exploding. What's next? We're going to come up to the scene tab, and we're going to put on our add our smoothing modifier. Convert to sub D. I'm going to come over here to mesh smoothing, and we're going to switch you to generic. Memorize that. So I think this is ready to save, and then we're going to kind of play with fuzzy hair for a little while. After playing with it a little bit yesterday, I think I have some ideas on how to get it better looking. I'm just going to throw that ugly generic shader I had on here just so we can see the color of the fur change. I'm going to save you. That's right. I'm going to save you right there. And you are a sweater. And you are Winter Whimsy. WW Whimsy Sweater G9. Content type is outerwear top. And accept that, and that gets saved. Okay, let's put hair on here. Let me see if I can remember how to do this. Create new strand based hair. Is it going to be fuzzy sweater or www Whimsy sweater buzz? Oh, hold on a second. All right, we're coming back. We're back. There I am. Okay. What was I doing? I'm making hair. I'm going to put it on the whole thing. We're going to do that. I don't see it. Did I have the sweater selected when I did this? I'm going to cancel this. Let's try this again. I'm selecting the sweater. create new strand-based hair. There we go. I still have the name on the clipboard. Yay. Oh, what the hell? That just must be some sort of weird. That freaked me out. Um, something in here. Fill. There we go. I'm gonna put fuzz on the whole thing. Distribute. Look at that. We're almost done. No, we're not. No, we're not. Um, anyhow, it's not. I'm gonna try to find a picture of this again. This sweater kind of like this. You can't really see it. You can. It's got fuzz on top. You know, this cosplay sweater doesn't look anything like the real sweater. That's I I found a cosplay version of it, but it doesn't. It's not nearly as fuzzy as the real McCoy. That looks fuzzier. That's not fuzzy at all. That's a T-shirt with a fake fuzzy pattern on it. What the farfignugan? This. I want this. So I'm trying to get this look. I don't think I can do this, but I think I can get something that might give me the feel for this. And is that a plaid skirt? I think that's the red plaid skirt she's wearing. So I'm gonna have to make a red plaid pattern to go with the skirt we're making. So let's play. So I'm not sure how dense to make this. We can always come back and change it too. That's another thing. So style, was my clumping in here? No, my clumping is over. So style lets me move these hairs around. We'll come back to that later. You know what? I'm just going to make it really clumpy. Clumpy 1 and clumpy 2. And maybe I'll dial you back a little bit. And maybe we dial you back a little bit. And then, do I have something for... I want to adjust, maybe I want them to be a little bit shorter, I think. Was there a setting for the length that I missed? Maybe over here. I think I'm going to make it thicker too. I think I'm going to double. I'm going to leave it at this density until I feel like I need to change that. And do I change the length in here? Maybe not. I forget where the length is now. Damn it. What about in tweak? Do I have tweak in here? Reduce length, random length. Oh, so the bigger the number, the shorter the hairs. Excellent. So maybe I'll try that. And you know what? We will crank that randomness up. And I think maybe we'll put you back to what we had to start with. Scraggle. What does Scraggle do? You know, given the way the sweater looks, and frizz, oh, frizz is totally, we want to get frizzy. We want to get frizzy with it. Maybe like that. I can always come back and edit it, I think. So I'm going to hit accept on that for right now. That is way too long. But let's do this and see what we're looking at. If we put colors on it, it might look better. I still want it to be thicker, and I think I'm going to try to style it a bit. Okay, so we're going to stop that. Is my length good, though? I think the length might be good. Let's get our colors in here. One of the things that drives me crazy about this sweater surface is just that there's so many spots to plug shit into. It's really annoying. Um, hey, so I'm going to use this as my stand-in texture for today. And also the fact that it decides that, you know what, this non-white color default, I should probably make a shader for this, and then I could just apply that with maybe better starting. Also, we're going to put this on the sweater. And now let's see what we got. Yeah, I think we'll have to increase the density, maybe make it look a little shorter, and I think maybe I can start combing it all kind of down. So we're going to stop you. Let's get rid of you. Let's select the fur and go back into, do I edit? I think it's edit object, edit strand based hair. There we go. And that gets me back into the editor. And here, let's take you to 100. Fuzzy. That's what we're going for. So maybe, what if I say 1? What if I say 0.5 on that? Color. Oh, I should change the colors here, can't I? I should have done that. Maybe that makes a difference. Let's take a look at how that's looking. It's kind of like that. Yeah, actually, I think the underlying DAS strand based hair was like look at my hair or something like that, if I remember. It was AMD Force that got taken down a while back. So let's take a look at how this is going. I think I still want it to be a little bit shorter. I think this is basically look at my hair rolled into DAS. There is a D-Force option, but it's only available for PAs. If I'm liking how this is, I'll have to open this up in the secret PA version of DAS. You didn't hear me say that. And then there's tools for the PAs that I can turn this into a deforced hair object. I don't really want it to be deforced, but as a deforced hair object, I can package it easier. Too fuzzy, too fuzzy. I like it's looking better though. We're not seeing through it as well. I have to. Hey, Willie, how are you doing? All right, so I'm gonna shape it a little bit. I think we're gonna make it a little shorter. I'm not sure. It might be a little too dense now. I don't know. I'm at least this way I can't see as much as the sleeve. I like that. So let's turn that off. Let's go back and edit that. So let me see if I can figure out how to get this shorter. A little shorter still, and then I'm going to style it a little bit, and then we'll take another look at it. So back into edit, object, edit strand based hair. I should put that on my toolbar. And what did I just say I was going to do? I'm going to tweak it. Did that make it shorter? That did not make it shorter. That's random length. That makes it a little shorter. I think I'm going to take a little bit of the frizz off, maybe. Sheep's wool, leather. If I could get it to look like this, I don't think I'm going to be able to. But this is our aspirational look. So I'm going to style it a little bit. I'm just going to kind of try to comb everything down. Where's my radius? I'm going to take you up, and then we'll just, that's too strong. Let's take that strength down. Let's see how this goes. All right, let's take another stab at the render. Maybe like that. Maybe a little less density. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that might kind of do the, and I'm going to do that for the boots too at some point. Actually, you mean might start the boots tonight. I'm going to try to get this stuff set up for substance. We'll do that. But I'm thinking it's not exactly as fluffy as that, but this is about as, I think, as good as I might be able to get Daz hair to work. So not exactly the same. So I'm going to save this as a whip file. And then I can't do this on stream. Then I'm going to convert this to a deforced hair, and save it as an asset. I think that'll do the trick. Let's see if I lower the density just a little bit. Let me try that. Oh, and let me put the tool on the toolbar here so I don't have to keep going. Oh wait, you're already on the toolbar. It's right there. I obviously had that thought a while ago. I've already forgotten about it. Distribution. Let's maybe dial you back to maybe 75. Or what if I say 50? Is that going to be too thin? Let's accept that. Let's take a look at how that's rendering. Oh, I did. Did I shout out Willie? I did shout out Willie. Let's give Willie a shout out. Willie. There we go. Yeah, Charles already left for the night. He's got to be up early again tomorrow. You know that less density isn't looking bad. And actually, in a weird way, I think it looks maybe a little bit better. I am actually kind of seeing the sparseness to it, but that might be okay. I don't know. I'm liable to change this as I work on it. And this does, well, the hair itself doesn't deforce, but the thing it's attached to can. So if we run the simulation, the hair should stay with the sweater, which is deforced. So that looks like it's working fine. Let's cancel that. Have I saved this yet? I'm not. I'm going to do a file, save as scene. And you know what? I'm going to come over to here and we're going to make a folder for Whimsy. And we'll put the sweater whip in here so I can come back and grab this hair later. Except that. All right, let's select the sweater. Oh, you're still saving. You're done saving. All right, let's select the sweater. Let's reduce the, let's turn the mouse resolution off. Base. Let's export you to a folder for substance. Right there. Is that my, it is. File, new, folder, substance. Let's do that. Whimsy sweater. Looks good. All right, let's do the skirt. Oh, you know what? I should give these colors. So we'll. Okay, and this has got that color in here right now. I'm going to just get rid of that, and let's give it some colors so we can make ID maps out of these. I don't really need to make a displacement map for the sweater. You'll never see it. Is that the same color I just used? It is. Let's not do that. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to export these. And let's export this. Did I export both of these? I exported both of these. Actually, that might be fine. Let's take a look at Blender. Do an import, and let's go get the, let's see what I exported out. Where's my projects? There's my projects. Oh, you're not alphabetical order. Damn you. Looks good. Couple things we're going to do. Shade smooth. Tab in. Control L. Is that just from? Yeah, okay. GX. We're going to push these apart so they don't occlude against each other. And we're going to separate out the UV maps. GX1. There we go. I'm going to do that. All right, let's export this out. Let's use my DAS presets. Let's overwrite that with this, and then we do it again with no materials. Oops, damn it. I overwrote it. I didn't want to overwrite it, so I got to do this with materials. Do it again. This time remember to rename it. without materials. And now we're ready to go to Substance Painter. Let's put you off to the side. You I don't need anymore. You can come over here. You can probably be saved right now, and I can probably close you. Get Substance Painter going. Close that. File. New. Select the no material version we just did. That one right there. There we go. All right, let's save you before I forget. Save as. We'll just save it right here in the same folder. You're going to just be Winter Whimsy outfit. All right, let's bake. Baking the mesh maps. Sure. We're slowly baking. And my substance is covering chat, so I can't see it. Not that anything's actually happening there. Did I have anything to drink? No. Are you done baking yet? You're still baking. Where are you on? You're on the curvature map. Curvature map done. Position is quick. Okay. Let's do this. Let's get you over here. All right, let's do the ID map. I'll do that in 4K. We'll load in that version with the colors. We're going to tighten that cage up really tight. I think, and then just bake. Oh no, I'm baking the same maps. Cancel bake. Damn it. I'm going to reset. Damn it, I screwed that up. We got to redo this. Let's get rid of you. Let's go back to 2K. All right, let me rerun them. I forgot to switch this to say ID for the second bake. So now I have to redo the first bake because I screwed those up with those settings. Ambient occlusion and the curvature maps take a little while. I think that sweater's supposed to be red, white, and blue. You still baking? You're still baking. Now you're on the curvature map. And then the skirt in Wednesday was a red with black striped plaid. I don't know what she was wearing for shoes. I may have to rewatch that scene. She probably wasn't wearing fuzzy Uggs though. All right, that's done. Now I'm going to remember to this time select the ID map and deselect the others. Now we'll go get this again. And then we're going to do this. And then I got to make those cages small. Or are really tight. And then bake that. There we go. Let's get in the paint mode. Let's take a look at the ID map. I think that's good. All right, let's export out the ID map. So file, nope, export texture. I have a preset for ID maps. I have a preset for ID maps with UDIMs, so that's the one we need today because we're doing 2 UDIMs. I'm going to export you guys. Did I save you yet? I did. Okay, excellent. So currently we have these in the output directory. I can leave them here for now. And let's kind of set up a basic. I'm going to put a sweater texture on here, and I'm going to put a fabric-y texture over here. So I'm going to say knit. And we're looking for kind of a, do I want to use a rib knit again? Let's take a look at these assets and see if there's something unique over here. This actually links into the Substance Assets online. So here, let's see what other options we have for knit. And we're looking for like a loose, kind of a loose sweater. Actually, is sweater a word that it, wool sweater. Let me try that. Let's take a look at what that looks like. I don't think that's exactly what I want. I don't know. I'm thinking. Definitely don't want it on there. Maybe I'll use this as the underlying material. And this way, if we don't use the fur, we've got a nice sweatery. Although I want the arms to maybe be rotated to run the long way. So we're gonna, let's undo that. And what we're gonna do is we'll just do that. I'm gonna duplicate this. And we'll come back to this in a second. And so what I want is, I want that color, I want this color, this color. What are you? You look like you don't have a, oh, you're probably, I probably set something up that said trim, didn't I? So that's probably okay. Then we'll come back to this one here. And actually, I want this for the sleeves and the cuffs. And I'm going to rotate that 90 degrees so that it runs that way. And I think I'm going to tighten this up just a, we're going to tile this just a wee bit. I think that'll be good. Am I getting a little misalignment there. What sort of it is a UV projection. We'll do the same thing over here. Tile that to 2 is good. I like that. It's using height normal. So that all is looking good. I think that'll be our underlying sweater texture. And now let's find, I'm just going to do a paint layer. And I'm just going to paint these colors across here. This isn't going to be the hero texture, but I am going to include this in the set. So it's like a big splash of red, white, and then blue. So we're going to use triplanar mapping for this color layer. And I got that's a filler. We want to use a paint layer so I can kind of do that. And I think what is it? Tangent, something, tangent wrap is what we'll do. And come into here. And I'll use that. I don't like that color. I'm just going to go with red. What am I thinking? Posing a skeleton inside a no presets, all manual. What are you, insane, man? Yeah, it's probably good. We'll try that. I hate the way if I'm like not actually on the mesh, it won't paint. I have to resize the brush to get it on the mesh there. That's annoying AF. Oh, I didn't want to touch that. You posed a woolly map earlier this week. It's amazing how often animals won't come with the good presets. I'm surprised Daz didn't sell you a pose package for extra. Back in my day, when I started with Poser, we didn't get textures with models. Those were extra. That didn't last very long, really. It's like 2001. I remember buying some models where you had to get the textures extra. I want to say it was like the buck, the deer and the buck and the lion. I think the lion you might have had, or the camel lion. And we liked it. Hell yeah. Do I have a blur tool? That would be cool. I'm probably asking for too much now. What are you? You're a smudge tool. You're a polygon fill. You know, I can, there is a blur filter we can put on here. Well, look at all that I accidentally. I was on the inside. That's looking nasty right there. Let's clean that up. Switch back to white. You got a couple little spots in there. A little, and I'm about to blur a little out of this anyhow. All right, I think that's going to be the basis for the sweater I'm going to go with. I might tweak these a little bit later on to slightly different shades, but for right now, I am going to drop put a blur on here. How about that? Kind of like that. All right, let me see if I can find a nice red and black plaid, and we can drop that on the skirt real quick. Do I have a good plaid in here? No, I have good plaid textures. You know what? I'm just going to take a fabric, maybe canvas, canvas beige. Maybe I'll use that as the underlying fabric for the skirt. Or what are you, tear resistant? No, I don't like that. Canvas white. Maybe we'll go with that instead. And we'll tile that like so. Is that what I want to go with for the skirt? You know, I think that'll probably work well enough. So let's just set the rest of this up. Am I missing anything? I think I've got all the skirt. You know what? I'm going to put a zipper in here. I'll just run that through here real quick. Hold on a second. All right, we're back. Almost 9, but I think I've got the good start here. Um, I think I have a plaid in my texture somewhere. Let's take a look. Where's that weird dirt coming from? Okay, let's scroll through here. Did I call it tartan by any chance? That would have been the clever thing. So I think at some point I did scan in a few, but I don't know if I actually have them sitting here in the no MacArthur tartan. Oh, I don't have a Cavendish gray. Best viewers. Hell yeah, I got the best viewers. My little body friend. Is that Twitch? That is Twitch. I don't see my chat though. Where's my chat? There's my chat. Activate chat. Oops. Oh no. No, I can hear myself. Ah. There we go. Um, disaster averted. You know what? I'm going to put for the time being. Oh, no, no, wait. Oh, no, that's the wrong. I'll have to see if I can dig up a nice black. And for the time being, though, I think what we'll do is we'll add a layer in here, a paint layer. No, I'm going to do a fill layer. Let's do a fill layer. Let's get rid of that paint layer. Let's put a mask with a color selector on here for this. And we're just going to select up all the canvas colors here. And I got to get the zipper parts. And then what I can do is we just want the color. I'm just going to drop this in for right now. I'll probably swap this out for something else later. Tile you up. I think we'll go with that. Let's put a paint layer in here and let me lay in a zipper real quick right through here. I have some tweaking to do on that. And actually, you know, the zipper, I don't want that to be part of. We'll make that a different color. But not now. What are you? I like brass zippers. Let's set you to do UV. I can tell I'm not painting. Instead of tangent wrap, we're going to do UV. There we go. You're going to look something like that, only I'm going to kind of put part of it over here and part of it over here. It's probably going to be good enough for now. Let's get a quick export on this. Let's do you as a 5-channel UDIM. We'll export that. We'll open this output directory. You know what? I'm just going to cut all of this for real quick. Let's run. Where's my folder at? Let's put you. You are in projects. You are in dresses. You are Winter Whimsy. I'm just going to stick you in here for right now. And then we'll put you into a runtime folder a little bit later. This is just for a quick render, and then we're going to call it a night. So let's select the skirt, pop over into surfaces, select all of that. I'm just going to clean that up like so. Into here. The skirt is on the O1. Right there. Put the base color there. Put that into the bump. Into the normal. Into the metallicity. Into the roughness. Excellent. All right, popping over to the sweater. Let's put the base shader back on that. So base color goes there. Get a height map for over here. I got a metallicity map, which is black, which means I'm just going to crank this all the way down to 0. I got roughness. I think that was my roughness. And there's a normal map. Okay, now we're going to change the color on the hair using this map here. You're the 1002 base color. So let's pop over to fuzzy surfaces. Do 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 do. I don't see. Did I lose my colors? No, there they are. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. I think we're fine. I just need to swap all of these out for this. This is freaking tedious. All right, let's take a quick render of this. Let me hit save on the wood folder here. Let's come over to substance and make sure that is saved. Close that. Close that. Let's find somebody to raid while I do this render here. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. What is today? Tuesday? We will be back Thursday, 7 p.m. More of this stuff. I may be working on the boots then. I may be past the boots. We'll see where we are. I'm trying to get the Letterman outfit finished up and submitted. So I think I've got everything done. I think it's just a matter of getting it submitted. I think that might work. It's a little odd around the collar. I might try to touch that up just a little bit. Thanks for being here, Art. Hey, and anybody on YouTube, thank you. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe. If you're on Twitch, feel free to join the raid. We're going to find somebody else cool to go say hi to. So it's just a matter of seeing. No, not open stories. Does anybody actually pay attention to Twitch stories? Seriously? Anyhow, let's see. Yeah, thanks for being here, Rod. It's always a pleasure to catch you, buddy. I hope you get your computer sorted out. Where's my show more? There we go. I'm trying to scroll down. InfoZar is on. Let's see if one of the art buddies is on, and maybe we'll go say hi to them. Irumakin is on. You know what? If we say hi to Irumakin, we'll probably end up hanging out with InfoZar. So I think maybe we'll go hang out with our good friend Irumakin, who plays games, opens Kinder eggs, and then goes hangs out with InfoZar. So we'll do that. We'll go out raid. Hey, the car hop outfit is alive at Daz today. Marketing time. Sorry, I'm gonna subject you to a little advertisement here. Just went live today. There we go. Retro car hop now live at Daz. 50% off. Oh, oogly boogly. So, gonna do that. Here, feel free to go buy my stuff at Daz. Hey, feel free if you haven't already to join the Discord. If you put stuff in the gallery, we share it on Saturdays, and the Saturday Night Social, Saturdays at 8 p.m. So feel free to join if you like to do that kind of thing. And I think that's good. We got raid calls. If you can join the raid, that would be awesome. Slash, this is if you're not a sub. This is if you are a sub. Do that. You know, that sweater is actually looking better. Kind of. Yeah, I don't know. That might do. I'm gonna tweak the collar a little bit. It's lying a little flat, so it's getting a little bare around there. Or maybe what I can do is I can come in here and kick up the density and make that maybe a little bit shorter or something. Or maybe use a density map. I don't know. We'll see. Is that all good? Yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna start this raid. We're gonna go say hi to our good friend Echo Irumakin. That's the wrong thing. Where did Urumakin go? There they are. So Urumakin, let's do this. Slash V. There you go. Thanks, Rod. I appreciate that. It's getting there. It's kind of what I had in mind. It's not perfect in it, but in a Daz world, this is actually pretty good. So we'll see how that'll work out. Dum 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 dum. Are we ready to raid Rumikin? We're starting the raid on Rumikin. All right, thank you all for being here. Next stream will be Thursday, 7 p.m. I already said that. And so anyhow, hasta la vista, baby.